Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry. Mowers and blowers. Good morning. Sunday, and a guy had texted me about my Toro recycler, the one that I found off the street. Holy cow! Scores! Anyway, I got it listed for $200 without a bag. Watch this. And so people would say, Henry, what are you, crazy? You're listing a Toro recycler, personal pace, with no bag, and you expect some nut to give you $200 for it? Well, you're not going to get $200 unless you don't list it for $200, right? If I had a bag for this, it'd be $275. So yeah, I think I could sell it. We'll find out. So you guys saw what happened. Guy arrived right on time. I didn't even think he was coming because he didn't contact me before he was coming. You know, I just said noon and I didn't hear anything else from him for like a whole day. And the next thing you know, it's like 11:58 and the guy goes, Henry, I'm in the church parking lot. I'm like, well, thanks for the warning. You gotta wait 10 minutes because I haven't even loaded this thing, you know? Anyhow, came, didn't really know too much about lawnmowers, to be honest with you. Didn't bargain with me whatsoever. A Toro recycler personal pace without a bag, $200. That's right, it's not $200, it's $200. That's right. Anyway, this is mower number 3 for 2024 that I've sold so far. Of course, I haven't paid a dime for anything. It's all free. That's right, free. And you guys saw this. I had a video recently about me fixing it and stuff, and it's doing very well. Had like 3,000 views in like the first day and a half. You know, it was amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's essentially picking up $200 off the street. Just keep your eyes open, man, or have a guy like Quinn the Mailman. Anyway, certainly a start to a wonderful day to sell a mower without a bag for $200. $200. So it's the next day after I sold the Toro for $200. I got a guy on Facebook Marketplace who texted me this morning about this. Says, hey, I can come and pick it up today. So then now you're thinking to yourself, okay, he's ready to buy, right? But I don't want to meet him unless I make sure that he reads the entire description. I says, did you read the description? It's $175. It's a push mower with a primer bulb. He's like, yeah. I'll see you around 2 or 3 o'clock. Well, it's like 2:30 right now. He says it's on his way. So this is the Poulon Pro push mower. It's like a Craftsman. It's got the 500E engine on it from Briggs & Stratton. E means it's just a primer bulb kind of primer. The EX one is the one that's auto choke, which is more valuable, a lot more efficient, a lot easier to start, etc. As you know from this one, we got this from East Norwich, Long Island. My buddy Jay, the cop. Near his area. He picked it up from me. When I went to go visit him, I picked it up from him. Hey, you want to help me with this? Two people is better than one. Sweet! So what we did was, we did a carb clean on this, and we also changed the brake handle cable, the bell handle cable for the brake, and I think that's it. That's all we did. And I shined it up with some ATF. We put some gas in it, and then ran fine. So just to make sure, it's got good gas in it. I put it in there. See if it fires up after 3 or 4 primes. It needs a good amount of priming. I can smell it already. Well, that was one thing that was happening before, that it wouldn't stay running. This may not be a good sale. I did put a new air filter in here that's not exactly the right air filter. It's a foam one. This might be an issue if it continues to do this. I'm going to try starting it up a few times, letting it run hot. Okay, I ran it for a while. Seems to be okay. Yes. I took the air cleaner off just to, you know, just to see. I mean, I'm thinking maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure. Is it because this is covering the hole? Yeah. It should be covering the hole. That's the whole purpose of a filter. That it's supposed to cover the hole. So I don't know, let me put this back on again and see if it works. Now I remembered, we also changed the blade on it. The blade on this was super bent. So my friend Dan Charbonneau from Nova Scotia, Canada, he's been a long time subscriber. He noticed that the way I load my push mowers, and I grab it here, whatever, and I pull it up, he said, try putting the handle back first, loading it from the front. So I figured, you know what, let's give her a try. Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. It may not work all the time like that, but it was a good suggestion. I'll practice it more. Let's hope that this thing runs completely fine when we show the guy the mower. So I have it listed for $175. Honestly, $125 would be fine, but we'll see what happens. So I waited for like 30 minutes already. I thought the guy was like nearby. I thought he ghosted me or something. Just about to unload it again and go inside and watch TV. And then he texted me and says, hey, I'm in the car parking lot. I'm like, well, you didn't give me any warning, man. Sorry, the deal's off. Now we'll give him some grace. Let's go to the church and see if we sell this for $175. There we go, a fellow F-150 driver. So as you saw, we sold that Poulan Pro. It was a really easy sale because the guy, he didn't even really care about it starting or not. He was just ready to bring it into his truck, you know, fellow F-150 driver, by the way. And also he didn't have any change. So, you know, he was more concerned about giving me $200, you know, two $100 bills, and my not having $25 in change. So that was his, you know, he was worried about that as opposed to the engine starting or not, you know. But either way, I started it up for him. It ran, thank goodness, no problem. I think it was just a lack of fuel getting in there after sitting in my garage for a while, and it was low on gas anyway, you know. So anyway, he gave me $200. I gave him $25 back. We talked a little bit more. He had like a funny accent, but then when I looked in his ear, he had a hearing aid on, so he was deaf. That's why he sounded, you know, like he was speaking another language, but it was just because he was deaf. But nice guy, made the sale. He was actually a tenant, and he was buying it for his landlord, which is unusual because usually the landlord's the one that buys a mower for your tenant to use to clean up the property. This was the other way around. But either way, good sale. Selling that thing for $175 after my buddy Jay finds it on the street in his neighborhood. So again, in consecutive days, sold a Toro, sold a Poulan Pro. Both of them just found on the street not long ago. Didn't do all that much to it. Didn't cost any money to fix it. And at the end of the day, I got $375 for both of those mowers. Problem is now I only have one Craftsman to sell. But anyway, on to the next thing, which is trying to get an engine for that. And if I can get an engine for this, I have a tranny for that. So we could probably try to get this to become a full-fledged hauler. Right now it's just a rolling frame, you know. We did test this and there was no movement of the piston in this Briggs & Stratton 11 horsepower engine with the FlowJet old carburetor. I mean, this engine's really old, you know. I think I might remove this engine and find out exactly what's wrong with it because I'm curious. And, you know, I take apart engines anyway. And there's a couple of things I want to try getting this one going. As you saw from another episode on dedicated just to try to get this engine going, I couldn't get any spark. I changed the magneto to a Honda one or something, and still no spark. However, I am getting electricity to this contact point. It's just that the spark plug's not giving off any spark. But there is current going to here because when I grab this and turn that, I get shocked. I think it's because of a ground. I think this engine needs to be mounted onto the tractor to get a proper ground. That's what I'm thinking. I might just try to flip this upside down because I saw a video about how if you have this upside down, it's not going to work. And of course, I thought I put it upside down, but if I put it upside down, this part would be over there, but I tried it anyway, still no spark. And then I disconnected this wire from it because this leads to the igniter. And, you know, because, you know, this ignition coil is supposed to be a electronic ignition coil. You don't require anything else. You don't need, like, you know, there are points ignition, right, that are attached to a magneto, but that's the old style. You can have that running with spark if you just put a newer ignition coil that's electronic ignition, right? So this is supposed to be, I mean, I feel electricity going to here, but it's just no spark. And then of course they said that, oh well, maybe your spark plug is gapped too far, that it's not creating the arc. And I'm like, no, this is 20 thou, you know what I mean, or less. So I think to get this spark going, I might have to try another. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to try another because only this other one fits perfectly. And then to get this going, I might have to buy an igniter. And an igniter is like $15. But I don't even know if I want to keep this engine because it's a pull start. I just did it just so I can do something with that, you know? So I don't really know what I want to do with it. I've tried everything. It's not getting any spark, short of trying another magneto. But we'll see what happens. So I looked around, I couldn't find another magneto that fit. I mean, I have literally like 50 magnetos from different Tecumseh, Kohler, Briggs, Honda, whatever, all kinds. And there is not one that fits that perfect whole pattern, you know. And so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I might just take that engine apart, sell it for parts, maybe think about buying an igniter. And I think maybe before I abandon it all, I'm gonna try to mount that engine onto the tractor. So take the old busted Briggs out of there, take that apart eventually, you know, because I can sell the flywheel and the parts off of that. And also, I kind of want to see what the damage is, why the piston doesn't move. Is it the broken connecting rod or is it something else? I'm just curious as to see what it is. But anyway, that's today's episode, selling 2 mowers and just doing a second and third shot at this engine here. I'm not sure. But anyway, see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Later.